So ICE Engine Works, this is something that I've been talking about for quite a long time now. I've been really interested in their stuff ever since I got some kits. I guess it was like January, February time maybe. Initially got the NP series kits for making turbo manifolds, and I always knew I'd like them, but there was a few barriers. The availability of them in the UK, some of the sizes didn't really match up to what I was able to use. You know, a few things like that. The cost is a factor, but you know, I knew that if I could make them work, they would easily pay for themselves, and I've proved myself right. I would definitely not, you know, I'm definitely not interested in having my money back. These kits are perfect for what we do in terms of custom manifold fabrication. They speed up the prototyping process, even with manifolds you make regularly. In terms of training people to use them, there's nothing like these. Now, I know there are 3D printed versions, and great. I think I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't use something like that. Again, I haven't done. I bought these because I wanted a proper product that's going to last a long time, and these are real robust plastic. These are like a workshop tool. So I quickly kind of fell in love with them, I guess. I knew that I would. They are exactly what I thought they would be, and it's a no-brainer to me if you make several manifolds that you should have this kind of kit. You know, it talk about investing in tools, investing in yourself. These are one of those things. These are a tool that are going to save you hours. Now, I've made a few manifolds, I've made a few different kinds of manifolds, but I know now that the most time consuming part is the prototyping stage. Something like a 6-cylinder manifold, where you've got clearances to think about. These make it so easy. You really cannot go wrong because there's no wastage in time, really. You can kind of make a primary, disassemble it, make a different one, disassemble it, and even just to kind of create the look you want. They work so well. I can't speak highly of them enough. So that led on to conversations with ICE Engine Works. Is this a product we could sell? I think it is. I think there's definitely a market for these in the UK. I think most people that need them don't know about them. We are now at a stage where we are the new UK distributor for ICE Engine Works. So I'm very proud of that because, again, I do think it's a great product. Not perfect, but great. So where do we go from there? The NP series for making manifolds, it's perfect. We don't need to do anything with that. The biggest issue comes with the EH series, mainly because I think that's what's going to be most popular in the UK. Now, that I know there are a lot of header manufacturers, so that kind of thing, when you're dealing with lots of mandrel bends, lots of compound angles, and that kind of thing, I know, again, just like with tubular manifolds, it can save people a lot of time, make prototyping so much quicker. But ICE Engine Works kits come in a range of centerline radiuses, which is helpful. None of those are easy centerline radiuses to get off the shelf in the UK. So they do 1 5/8, 1 3/4, 1 7/8, and 2 inch for header building. And more or less, all of the mandrel bends you buy in the UK are 1.5D. You can often get 1D as sanitary bends and things like that, but they're often quite hard to get in exactly 1D. They'll sometimes be, you know, call it 44mm diameter, 51mm centerline radius. So again, not perfect for ICE Engine Works, and they don't really work with those kits very well. So for now, we're ignoring those kits because I just don't think it's worth us bringing them into the UK. The mandrel bending availability isn't there. The tooling to make the bends is thousands every single time you want one different centerline radius. So if we wanted to have 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch and 5 inch centerline radius in 4 different diameters, we'd be into thousands and thousands of pounds, and we'd need to sell a lot of mandrel bends to get our money back on that tooling. So we're going to not worry about that stuff to start with. What we're going to look at is the 3-inch off the FE series. So the 3-inch FE series is going to be most useful to people making downpipes and full exhaust systems, and that's what I've been using them for. So they do the FE series in a 3-inch and 2.5-inch diameter, and then in a 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch and 6-inch centerline radius. So 3-inch centerline radius is perfect because that matches up perfectly with dairy bends or hygienic bends, whatever you want to call them, in tight radius. So these become absolutely perfect for that. We've already done some videos on those showing you how useful they are, and you know, why you should definitely have a kit if you're making a lot of downpipes or catbacks and things like that and you're only using 1D bends. But I know a lot of people are using 1.5D bends, as we do. We do mandrel bending with 1.5D, and when it comes to making full exhaust systems, multi-bend sections and things like that, I know there's a lot we can do if we've got 1.5D blocks. So that's what we're going to work with Ice Engine Works on, is creating some 1.5D 3-inch blocks, so 4.5-inch centerline blocks. Because I know if we can supply people with 4.5-inch centerline blocks and they can use those in the prototyping process, we can then mandrel bend what they prototype. And it can be really easy. Again, we'll do guides on it at the time, on how you would actually use a kit to prototype and that for us to mandrel bend. But for me, that is going to be a game changer. If we can supply people kits with 1D and 1.5D, and then they can use those kits to work out what kind of angles they want and how the distance between the bend angles, we can then mandrel bend that, and we are going to get rid of all of that, you know, or you need to get 10 for, you know, to get them down to a decent price, etc., because all of the programming becomes so much easier when we're not working off of samples or kind of sketches. We can just work off of people's actual plastic blocks that can just be taped together, or, you know, what have you. So there's loads that we can do with these, and I'm really excited about it. And then at some point in the future, we'll also look to try and do that with 2.5 inch as well, because they don't supply those in 1D or 1.5D. They're in 3-inch centerline radius. So again, that's a bit frustrating and not really that useful to us in the UK or in Europe. But this is something that I am going to actively work really hard on now, because it's a really good product and I think more people should be using it. Yes, I have a financial interest in that we're going to make money out of selling these kits, but I really wouldn't have put all the effort in, and I've put a lot of effort in to getting us to be able to sell these kits. And we've already invested quite a lot of money. We've got some kits coming. We've got some NP series kits and 3000 FE downpipe kits, which is a kit we've developed with Ice Engine Works. So we've already invested with no guarantee that anybody's actually going to buy any. But I'm confident that these kits will save most people so much time that once they've got them, they'll kind of wish they had them years ago. So yeah, any comments, any questions you've got, please let me know and I will do my best to answer them. Any ideas you've got, just let me know. Thanks.